certainly, though, this morning, a lot of people had their eyes on the storms, not just what happened from last night, but in the days ahead, because we have a busy forecast for everyone. So
we do, and in fact, it might actually start this morning. The Storm
really?
Prediction Center is thinking about putting out a watch here in the next little while. So let me show you the reason why.
Sure.
Let me show you Cake's Edge. And you can see those storms down toward Oklahoma City right now, extending down toward the Lawton area. In fact, we do have some tornado warnings. We have severe thunderstorm warnings. That's all headed off to the north. So the Storm Prediction Center is thinking about putting out a watch that would include Wichita off to the south for that cluster of storms that's working its way off to the north. That'll be with us here in the next couple of hours. We're dry right now in Wichita. All the showers that we're seeing within Kansas are outside the viewing area from Emporia back over toward Topeka and Kansas City, and those will continue to lift their way off to the northeast. A lot of cloud cover in place right now. We're seeing the breezy conditions. You can see the trees blowing in the distance there from our studios here at 13th and West. We're at 74 degrees. Those winds out of the south at 15 miles per hour. We have a cold front bisecting the state right now. As long as we're along and ahead of that front, we're going to see the potential for severe weather. Wichita, Hutch, Salina, we're all ahead of that front. We're behind the front, though, in Garden City. It's 50 degrees there with those winds out of the northwest at about 6 miles per hour. You can see where that front is right now, and you can see colder temperatures behind it. 45 in St. Francis. It's 46 right now in Syracuse, but still 73 degrees in El Dorado and the same in Arc City. So as we head toward the rest of the morning and the early afternoon, I think we're going to make it into the upper 70s. That cluster of storms down by Oklahoma City could be here in the next couple of hours, but we'll see a better chance for storms by about 11 o'clock or noon. And then we'll catch a little bit of a break before another round of storms comes through later on today. So I think we'll see a few waves of storms later on today. A few of those might be severe. We're going to break down the severe weather potential and talk about Monday and Tuesday for a better chance for severe weather. That's coming up in a few minutes. Annette?
All right, thank you. Well, as Blake said, severe storms are in the forecast, and last night those storms packed a bit of a punch, especially in parts of southwest and central Kansas. Tornadoes confirmed in several parts of the Midwest, and over here at home, here's a look at the areas affected here on the map. The towns, they're just south and east of Dodge City. They were affected, including Lewis, Mineola, Bloom, and Ford, Kansas. We hear that wind howling as Jeff Martin captures this footage of a tornado south of Dodge City last night. He said he was on 118 road. He watched the tornado touch down and even saw power lines drop as a result of this storm. And I want you to take a look at this intense footage. We slowed down this video. On the bottom left of your screen right there, you see the winds. They are so strong that they flip over a semi-truck on the highway. A wedge tornado, see there's the truck right there, pushing over. A wedge tornado was confirmed northeast of the town of Mineola. And in that same storm, funnel clouds seen, and this tornado gaining its strength right before our eyes. We can see first responders with those flashing lights right there in the background, preparing for the worst. In that path of the storm are several structures, and the tornado is even passing by some windmills.
Wow, look at that. It's right in front of us. It's right in front of us. Anyone? Boy, it's moving faster than you think. It's going right through a house.
Oh no.
Right through a house. Look at that. Pull back wide. Pull back wide. Look at the debris.
Move your
Look
phone.
at all the debris.
Move your phone.
Oh my gosh, it just hit this house. Steady, 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 steady.
So storm chasers have been out in full force with the storms expected not just yesterday, but in the coming days. These chasers help capture the isolated threats, including hail and heavy rain. They spotted this twister. I mean, look how large it is right there. It's so dark, but when the background with the lightning as it flashes, you can see it hitting a home in the city of Bloom, about a half hour south of Dodge City.
What kind of house?
It's a mobile home too.
Okay.
Keep it on the tornado. I'm going to go check and see if anybody's hurt here.
Okay.
All right, turn the
All right, with this particular scene, we know that at least a couple of storm chasers were there, and they went in to check in on the folks in this home and to take a look, of course, at that rubble, see if anybody's trapped. Well, the storm chaser who was there, he spoke with first responders on the scene and says that the people who live there in this mobile home were not there. But I mean, look at that rubble there. Look at that debris. That's something. So grateful to hear that those folks were not there at that time. Also, meteorologist Tony Lawback made his way down to this area, down south as well. Here's a look at the damage in the city of Lewis. That's in Edwards County. Now, after a tornado, it actually dropped around, I'd say a little after 10 o'clock last night. A semi, as we just saw, flipped over on the east side of town. Then there's minor structural damage to some buildings and homes. Rooftops actually torn off of those houses. A garage, as we see here, collapsed on a couple of trucks. Also some large trees down as well.
All right, it's a grass fire, guys. No house on fire, no house.
Thankfully, no house, right? A grass fire among several that popped up due to the power lines falling down over in Ford County. The fire was spotted by these chasers on the side of the road late last night. Now, I've chatted with emergency dispatchers this morning, and they cannot confirm anything new with us. But if you're traveling out and about, let's say in Ford and Edwards counties, we do want you to be aware of possible damage, debris, and of course, those power lines. Do not touch them. So in addition to that power line concern, we do know that homes are damaged in Ford and Edwards County this morning. We have not heard of any serious injuries reported. Ford County emergency dispatchers, they say they're going to give a look at everything and give us an update later this morning, and we certainly will keep you posted with them as well as everything in Edwards County. Now, stay ahead of the storms by downloading the KAKE First Alert weather app. It has interactive radar, video updates, and alerts to keep you and your family safe. Have those storm kits and everything ready. We want everyone to be prepared because a lot of weather, potentially severe, will be hitting us in the coming days.